Hi, my name's Eric Weiner. I'm primarily a photographer. Well, I moved up here to Bancroft to get away from things and be isolated and work on my writing, work on my photography. Came to the Place for the Arts because there was a photo group called F23 that meets every other week that I became part of. Then I became part of the Place for the Arts, the steering committee, and then there was a writers group I got involved in. And then there was bands I got involved in. I've never been as busy in my entire life as I have been moving to Bancroft. Probably around 1970, 72. I guess in around when I got back from Europe, friends of my father joined the camera club, called the Village Camera Club, and they said they had never experienced people so dedicated and involved with anything in their life. And they asked me if I'd come along, so they saw my pictures that I'd taken in North Africa and Europe. And because this other friend of ours had a British accent, she acted as a secretary, and she'd ask the greatest photographers in the world, say, "I say, could you come and show us some of your work or critique ours?" And you have to understand, in New York, in the States, English accents sound like royalty. Like, it might have been the worst Cockney accent in the world, but to the American ear, it sounded like, whoa, this is class. And photography wasn't that big then, so we had the greatest photographers in the world come and either show us their work or look at our work and critique it. We'd take them out for dinner. And so Eugene Smith and Ernst Haas and all kinds of real big names in photography. Andre Cortez all showed up, critiqued our work, and it was great. There was some bad advice that I remember from the second string of photographers we had, which photographers for Look magazine and Life magazine would come, and they would say things like, "Your best tool is the garbage can. You get back your slides, you look at them, and the ones that don't jump out, you just throw them in the garbage." Which was the worst advice of all time, because some of my favorite shots were things I didn't even notice at the time. Years later, looking over contact sheets, I'd find something I didn't even remember shooting, and I go, "Wow, look at that!" And that became some of my favorite stuff. So that was really bad advice, which was helpful because I ignored it. Recently, I'm now 67, so I've been shooting, I guess, since I was about 22. I had something up on the wall downstairs. That may have been the first time that I put something up on the wall that I actually liked, that I wasn't disgusted by. Occasionally I'll go over to somebody's house and they have a picture of mine on the wall and I haven't been there in years. And that, I'll go, "Wow, I like that." But aside from those instances, I invariably, by the time it gets up on the wall, I hate it and think, "Oh, this is terrible." So, self-criticality is part of the process. And I think most artists, or a lot of artists, feel that way, and that drives you to work harder at it. And hopefully, if you felt really satisfied with your work, you might not do much more. But seeking to get better is a big incentive. If I'm going out to shoot, I'm always trying to use photography to get to a deeper level of reality, which I think is one of photography's gifts, that you can see reality in a deeper way or in a different way than we've seen before. And I think that's part of what I'm often looking for. You want to instinctively react and react very quickly. So if you allow yourself to do that, you don't overthink and you just spontaneously react. And so parts of you that are much older than your brain, that we come from billions of years of evolution, and if you bypass the brain, which just houses our culturally instilled tastes and thought processes, if you let yourself just react, you'll often be reacting from a deeper level than if you're consciously reacting. I feel like a weak man pulled along by a very strong dog, and it leads me places I wouldn't necessarily know to get by myself. And when I get there, I usually like what I see, and I hope people who look at my work like it too. The print is actually the performance, the concert. And I think that's true. A camera can just do so much in terms of what it captures, and then it's up to you to breathe life back into it, in terms of the balance of tones, some of which the camera can't do all at once. So you need to darken this area, lighten that area to get it closer to the way you perceived it when you shot it, or to create a new form of life that has the balance and excitement. So in March, I am doing a workshop on Lightroom, which is the preeminent tool, the standard tool that photographers use to work on their pictures and help organize their photographs and categorize them. It's fairly intuitive and easy to use, and I think after the introduction, people will have a pretty good sense of what it is and ability to use that tool and improve their photographs and help organize their photographs. So I hope you will come see my work, come to my workshop. You'll be a changed human being. It'll be the singular experience of your lifetime. You won't believe what's going to happen.